emotional time. You think back immediately, the first thing when I saw that it was 9-0 and then it's 14-2, whatever. You think back to when 1993, when we won it at Middle Tennessee State, beating EKU. And it's an emotional time knowing that it's been 22 years, and that's too long. It's 22 too long. Would like to see that, every year, every other year. But I've had more text messages, phone calls, Facebook messages, Twitter messages from former teammates over the last 48 hours since Morehead won it, that it kind of makes everybody come together again, and that's a good feeling to have. Oh, we'd have killed them. No, I'm just playing. There are similarities. I think our team in '93 had a better pitching staff, but this year's team has a much better hitting team. We led the conference in '93 with a 293 average, and Morehead's leading the nation at 336, 339, whatever. We had a very good ball club, but this year's team is fun to watch. They win on the road, but especially at home against at Allen Field, but they win on the road. And that's something that I think at times Morehead has had that stigma. Well, they can take advantage of the short porch, but let's see what they do on a big field. Well, this ball club showed that you can win on a big field just like we did in '93. Well, in '93 when we won it, we beat EKU at Middle Tennessee State, and it was almost 1 in the morning. EKU had to beat us twice. They beat us the first time, scored a run or two in the bottom of the ninth, and they beat us. Well, when we played the second game, it was so late. We were all just so exhausted. Like, hey, great, we won. But we didn't get an NCAA tournament berth. That was the first or second year the NCAA had taken the OVC automatic berth from us. So it was a championship, but it also felt empty in a way that we didn't get a chance to go on to a regional because we had defeated Louisville, Kentucky, Vanderbilt. We had taken care of everybody in our geographic area, and we didn't get a chance to expand on that. But it was still a championship, but as a freshman, it felt so long ago. And then in '96, we were 4 outs away from doing it again, and Austin Peay scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th in '96 and stole it from us. And so getting to see these guys win, you feel a sense of pride that you were a part of that in some historical way, I guess. We had 7 lefties in the lineup, if that tells you anything. It kept us in business, there's no doubt about it. Hitting was not a problem. We hit on the road as we did at home, but certainly and it's a generous, I think they put it in the media guide when I was a player, 335 in the right center field gap. It's not 335 at all. And after the tornadoes of '95, it knocked down that thing. So we had to rebuild it. And when that happened, it was actually brought in 10 feet closer because of the ditch that's back there. And but we hit and we hit and we hit and we hit. And one of the things that in '97 we had to sweep SEMO in the last weekend of the season to make the tournament. We only took 2 out of 3. And one of their players gave us one of the best compliments ever. He said, "You guys, statistically, wins, losses, we weren't that good." He said, "But you guys never quit. You guys are the hungriest group." And I think that was pretty good. And it made us hungry here because you're never out of a game. You've never clinched a game until that final out because of what that fence can do. There is a sense after you leave, well, we want somebody else to do it. And then as you get older, it's like, boy, it's a badge of honor that we were the last to do it. And then as another team gets closer, as long as it's a Morehead team, which obviously it has to be, then you want it to happen. A couple of years ago, Morehead was first in the OVC regular season with about 3 weeks to go, and then unfortunately imploded. That was about 8 years ago, maybe. But watching this team catch fire, nation's longest winning streak at one time, the best hitting team in the nation, and then seeing them just do a demolition job on everybody in the OVC tournament, you can't help but feel a certain pride that maybe you lost somewhere along the way, but then a team like this brings it all back to you. In 1993, we played Murray in a 3-game set. In game 1, they beat us, but we protested the game because they had reinserted their designated hitter. They took him out and then they brought him back in. And the only reason we caught it, Steve Hamilton, who was the athletic director at the time, was at the game, and he's notified our dugout, hey, they re-entered their DH, you can't do that. So we protested, we won the protest. At the end of the year, we were a half game behind Austin Peay for the last spot in the OVC tournament. Couldn't have happened to a better group, beating Austin Peay. Murray has to drive all the way back from Murray, Kentucky. They bring 9 guys. They brought a very small bus. They brought 9 guys to play 5 outs. We picked it up in the bottom of the 8th inning with runners at 2nd and 3rd and 1 out, and I was batting, a freshman, and the coaches put so much pressure on me that the 3 days leading up to that game, they said, hey, take more batting practice. Get him some more swings. I mean, they had me tight. Well, the first pitch, I inherit a 1-0 count. The first pitch is high and away. They intentionally walked me at that point to pitch to an All-American, Butch Fulks, the year before. He gets a bounding ball past me. We tied at 5-5. We go on to score 4 more times. We win 9-5. But we only make that tournament if Coach Hamilton is watching the game. And then he notifies us. They travel. They were hot. They were mad that they had to drive all the way here, so they only brought 9. But I don't know who was more mad, Murray driving this way or Austin Peay getting knocked out. And then we went on to win the OVC title in Middle, and it was the last one until this year.